More music in this bitch real quick. You feel me? Get ready to start this thing up. Get ready to start this motherfucker on up. About that time. What's up with y'all, man? Alright. Roll up, pull up. Get ready. Let's get in. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker get ready to get into this.
Top chillin', smoking on the billy, keep the good stealing. This is not a fantasy, this is how we live it. Walking the ride, nigga, I'm gon' get it. Ain't nothing like the feeling, nigga, when the top chillin', smoking on the stogie. Coffee got me choking, bust open this Swiss sweet, gon' crack it open, sour patch, got me zoning, blowing smoke it to tomorrow. While y'all worried about Corona, I'm opening up Corona bottles, living like it's already 2025, futuristic feeling, George Jensen is alive. Back from the future, destination verified. Coordinates the right before y'all caught the T-virus. They living off the vibes that we sitting to the hive. Right before your eyes, knowledge and ignorance collide. They say that the zombies only dying from headshots, prison rebellions, cause they won't let the cage man out. Skynet uploaded all these smartphone files. Couple of years after the Terminators arrived.
That's right.
I hustle and I grind to get my piece of the pie. They say y'all looking for the ounces. Access has been denied, but I'm smoking on the killing. Keep the good spilling. This is not a fantasy. This is how we live it. Walking the ride, nigga, I'm gon' get it. Ain't nothing like the feeling, nigga, when the time chillin'. Smoking on the billy. Keep the good spilling. This is not a fantasy. This is how we live it. Walking the ride, nigga, I'm gon' get it. Ain't nothing like the feeling, nigga, when the top chillin'. Yo, Drill, Dog Records, Renegade Mob, like, bitch, I'm 900, like, y'all looking for the access has been denied, right before all the Terminators arrive. Are you niggas still alive? Are you niggas still alive? Yeah, but I'm bustin' up a billy. Nothing like when the top chillin'. Nothing like when the top chillin'.
Man. If we can find New World Disorder real quick. New World Disorder. New World Disorder. It's in your fucking place.
Let me take you to the USA and show you what's on display. You got niggas, you got bitches, you got those who obey. Every word these crooked politicians get on stage is insane. They all stuck on lockdown, kids can't even play. Niggas getting sicker and sicker from the shit that they spray. 1,200 hit their account, they patriotic today. They rock for Donald Trump and film about the Hall of Conquest. They think that they just sit in place, it'll all be okay. Some call social dismay, they protest their liberty. They've been reading and researching, so they hip to the game. Social exercise to a point, pushing COVID-19. Politicians getting paid off the plots and the schemes. Niggas sitting around the house, posting pictures and memes. Babies born in World War III, they just wanna see their teens. Things that's about to reveal. What the fuck do we make of this new world is for? Sheep led to slaughter, son against father, mother against daughter. They gave you the rules,
So pay attention what they taught. Niggas slipping, belly sand above water. New world disorder. New world disorder.
by the news
And the shit that you read, got they foot on niggas' necks, give them no room to breathe.
They just wanna find some food and get them something to eat.
Niggas eat shit, sleep, watch TV and repeat.
Wanna hire something from them,
Put that shit in the book. They so arrogant that they don't think your niggas gon' look.
newscasters got them shook, bankers turning to crooks.
Landlords trying to get pussy,
Trying to
man.
get them some cut. I guess business out the window when they come to a nut. She was playing conscious,
But she really a slut.
She got her own face.
She kept it real from the jump.
I'm just busting up this pussy, steady dumping the guts. Watching it out from a distance, ready to light up a blunt. First 14 days, shit
Turn
took
this-
18 months. They push to get vaccinations, microchipped all up. They wanna fuck the world up. Yeah, it's them against us. Yeah, it's us against them. They don't wanna concede.
The revolution is televised. What the fuck do you mean? New world disorder. New world disorder. Sheep led to slaughter. Son against father. Mother against daughter. They gave you the rules, just pay attention what they taught you. Niggas sinking, barely staying above water. For sure. Gonna get a couple more songs in, man. Through heaven and hell.
Yeah, it's Trill.
We're gonna do Psycho Flow too.
Only time to tell nigga. Only time gon' tell about it. Do the dirt, nigga gon' raise hell about it. Y'all niggas, y'all don't even care about it. Real niggas grip the strap and say a prayer about it.
So y'all say a prayer for the streets.
God
That's
bless
the street
trap
niggas.
Why niggas ain't eat? I think I'd rather go out here and hustle for the G's. I know God know my heart, and I got mouths to feed. My baby growing up,
Man, she a motherfucking G.
I wonder if my niggas
Locked up, do you remember me?
Got some niggas across the country in the
Penitentiary.
penitentiary. I wonder if all my niggas can look down and see.
I say a prayer for you while I'm in this.
cemetery.
I drop a tear drinking beer, reading your obituary.
Only time gon' tell
What we gon' be? Got niggas scared, stuck in the house. They don't wanna leave. Damn. Only time I tell nigga,
when you die.
go to heaven or hell, nigga.
Only time I tell nigga, fuck a scale, get that shit by the bell, nigga. Only time I tell nigga, if you die, go to heaven or hell, nigga. What if y'all all wake up from this crazy dream and figure out the propaganda in this shit you read? Put in plain sight, ain't no goddamn conspiracy.
Y'all acting like
the shit
it's fucking mystery. Trillions of dollars in the system, a cheat code.
so they can
Snort cocaine, fuck freak hoes.
and they can
Maintain life at a high degree. Why niggas steady sinking deeper into poverty?
The definition
Of a strong armed robbery. Royally fucked, ain't no maybes or probably. Well, this shit out here is worse than what it seems. And niggas don't pay attention unless this shit put on a meme. Only time will tell, nigga. Bag it up, make it swell. Bury that shit if it don't sell. Yeah, real talk.
Yeah, ma. 900. No limit forever east. Only time will tell, nigga.
Now let's get the spirits, man, riled up. Let's get the ancestors jumping it off, man. Get that psycho flow, man. Yeah. Let's kick that psycho flow and get them energies jumping up in this joint. Damn, I wonder if I got the psycho flow intro. Yeah.
Tools that help every piece of your business work like magic.
Warfare. For grace and for greed. Hey. Misery. Destruction.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Come on in this bitch with me. Come on in this bitch with me. And I made the beat, of course. Do-do-do-do-do. I'm a fool on a fucking piano. I'm gonna get all the dark energies out through that bitch. All my piano songs, every song you hear when I play the piano in that bitch gonna be low tones, nigga. Dum dum dum. Who? Who? Dum dum dum. Let me get that. Organize these voices in my head and bring you that flow. This ridiculous. Know that your body is as soon as you feeling it.
When the energy that you infecting with charge of the they
know it's serious.
When the people call out for the teacher, you gather the troops.
Straight up from experience.
It's the sacred
the secret, the leader of the streets. In a myriad of gentlemen, structure the shit like it's a pyramid.
I recall specific when we put in the generation to
spit how they want to spit.
When we hustle, it's act up, when we get cash, credit, and chicks, we impact with the spirit. Dark times with amazing talents, commodity choices, and asset.
And I'm your mom, or whatever, like a million you rock with. Rhyme with them slows, slime with them hockey sticks. Rigged out psycho mode with a shifter in the cockpit. Yeah, nigga. Nigga, it's that psycho flow. It's the ancestor. It's that psycho flow. It's the ancestor speaking through you, nigga. It's that psycho flow. Organize these voices in my head, bring you that psycho flow. It's the buck spirit in the music. It's that psycho flow. Nigga, it's the ancestor speaking through you, nigga. It's that psycho flow. This revolution make you scared, but just that psycho flow. I organize these voices in my head, bring you that. Yeah. It's that psycho flow. Organize these voices in my head, bring you that psycho flow. It's the buck spirit in the music, it's that psycho flow. It's the ancestor speaking through you, nigga, it's that psycho flow. This revolution make you scared, bitch, it's that psycho flow.
Organize these voices in my head, bring you that.
Yeah. In the music, it's that psycho flow. It's the ancestor speaking through you, nigga. It's that psycho flow. This revolution make you scared, bitch. It's that psycho flow. Yeah. Bring you a trill. This revolution make you scared, nigga? Let the ancestors speak to you. I organize these voices in my head and bring you that psycho flow. Yeah, we ready now. We ready now, nigga. I feel that electricity in this bitch. We finna get on y'all ass. So this lecture right here, basically, I'm gonna break down the whole thing. Islam, the Berbers, the Grimaldi, the Garibaldi, ancient Africa. So we're gonna talk about all the history of so-called Africans, cause you know I don't want to disrespect nobody that's really from over there. They don't call themselves no damn African. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They call themselves by their tribes and shit, like who they really are. I'm from Ghana. I'm from, you feel me? Shit like that. So we're gonna get into that. We're gonna speak on all it. We're gonna speak on the whole the history of it, of basically the connection with the Moors, why they call them that, what was the whole meaning behind it, them calling them Moors. Who came up with that? We're gonna deal with all that. Alright, so let's get started, man. Hold up, let me go to the Facebook and see what's up with them before I get back in the YouTube. They be doing the most. But let her live her life. Yeah, gotta let her live her life. I ain't gonna knock nobody. She's a freaky young girl. That's cool with me. Alright, we're gonna see what's up, man. We're gonna get into this shit. Start breaking it on down. If you want to experience the full life, the total life, then you got to go to YouTube. So, yeah. I done dropped all kinds too, so shit. Look at this dog ass thing. I'm gonna find a different platform altogether to do this shit from. Honestly. But I be trying to connect with everybody real quick. But that's what I'm about to do because Facebook be tripping. Truly, dude. Shit, we finna get in this shit. Alright, bet. So, we're gonna start off with the Moors. Who is the Moors? Who are the Moors, man? Who people believe the Moors are? You know what I'm saying? What's up, cuzzo? You gotta go to YouTube to see the you gotta click the YouTube link. So who are the Moors? You know what I'm saying? Basically. We're gonna get into that. So the Moors, well, a lot of people believe that everybody is Moor. You feel me? Because it's supposed to represent the dark skinned, the tawny people who was brown, copper colored. You know what I'm saying? Dark brown, because there ain't no black people. I mean, there may be some people that's so brown that they appear black. So don't get it twisted, because I don't want to offend them. You know what I'm saying? But from what we understand, most people is brown, red, yellow. We'll call the darkest of the brown people black. You know what I'm saying? And no offense to him. You know what I mean? But this is the basis behind what they mean when they talk about a Moor. So the Europeans basically gave that name to them because they was trying to separate the two different types of Muslims that they was being presented with. See, most people attribute damn near all the religions to basically the European. When in actuality, you know what I'm saying, this came out the Midwest. Not Midwest. Y'all forgive me. The Middle East. I'm thinking about the fucking Midwest. It could be the Midwest though when you think about it, because right up in here where we at, the real Memphis, Jerusalem is in Arkansas. Memphis is in Tennessee. So I mean, maybe that wouldn't slip up. Maybe it was ancestors. Shit, they know more than I do. So when it was first introduced, it was basically for them to distinguish between the dark-skinned Moors and the white Moors who was both practicing Islam. So it's basically presented to represent the Spaniards, you know what I'm saying, from around the Gibraltar Strait, and basically they didn't really, you know what I'm saying, look at they self like, well, whatever you call. What's up with it? What up, Cheyenne? Y'all go to the YouTube if you can't hear me on this joint. If you can't hear me, then go to YouTube and you'll be able to hear me on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Let me put that in there. Yeah, because Facebook can trip. Okay. Alright, so back to what I was saying. So Facebook start tripping. So it's basically to represent the people from the Iberian Peninsula mainly. You're going to notice I'm going to speak on the Iberian Peninsula in this lecture. And in future ones too, whenever it comes to speaking on the Moors. You know what I'm saying? The Iberian Peninsula, Sicily, in Italy, Malta, and of course, you know, Morocco. These motherfuckers are full of shit. That's alright, they can't stop the shit. We still going. That's why I say everybody go to YouTube. You know what I mean? Facebook, full of fucking shit. But it's alright. So bam. These is the areas that are recognized, but Moors is everywhere. Don't get this shit twisted up. You feel me? This ain't me doing it like that. Moors is everywhere. So that should give you a better understanding of who they is. And I know a lot of people probably wondering, well, damn, ain't the Moors like the people of the Nation of Islam and the Moorish Science Temple and yeah, all that, you know, it's a whole group, but I wouldn't say that they all collectively represent the same thing, because they all got their own different ways of doing things. So we get into that later on, the whole American version. You feel me? We're gonna get into that. So we're gonna get into the history of the Moors right now. So I told you about how the areas that mainly were what people believe represented. You know what I'm saying? Even though the Philippines and other places, like I say, the Moors is everywhere, but a lot of people most likely are going to attribute the Moors with the Moroccans, Spain. So, and back in 1777, it was Moors from Africa that came to the Iberian Peninsula, and they basically, I wouldn't say, well, they converted. They converted, just like I told you last night about, no, not last night, a couple nights ago, about how the Europeans was converted to Christians. They was converted. So the Moors was converted too. So I know around the world, the name title Moor is synonymous I mean, it's damn near the same thing when you say Moor, people think I'm black Muslim. But that's how it's supposed to be associated. Even though when you put it all together, that ain't really the case, because you see that they was converted. And it's an actual real date, which means this is what they documented. This is some shit that's wrote down probably somewhere where we can get access to it, go and read it, or shit, we know for sure that the large majority of it, if it is heavily documented, we know that shit somewhere locked up in somebody's vault. You feel me? I'm gonna hit this live button on the Facebook. So we're gonna get deeper into it. So they went to modern day Spain, Portugal, which is the epicenter, you know, of the whole Moorish Islam, basically myth. Now we know it's a real thing. Why I say myth is because I'm breaking down the whole thing, so you won't think of it as what they throw it out there. The way they throw it out there, it seemed like a fucking myth, because there's no real. Nobody ever put the dates behind them, the actual events. You know what I'm saying? Where the events happen, so that you can take it and you can look it up, and then you can go and see for yourself. Oh, okay, bam. So they don't do that. So in the year 827, they went to Mazzara, Sicily, and they created a port there. So they were basically going and creating what we would describe as satellites. We do it too. You see what I'm saying? We do it too. We over here in the USA, shit. We fuck shit, or we gonna trade with different people and shit. We do a satellite there too. We got different, but we call them bases. We got them everywhere. Where we go, hell, we whether we bomb rush a motherfucker or whether they actually ask us for help, you know what I'm saying? Be like, we need different supplies and things like that. Whether we doing trade with a motherfucker, I'm trying to light this blunt, or whether we conquering their ass, because you know how we get. We'll take some shit over. Whether motherfuckers want us there or not, we'll form a base at your shit. Hey man, get down and lay the fuck down. If you don't want us to have your resources, bitch, fight us. That's basically how we is over here. We some motherfucking bullies. If you don't want us to have your shit, bitch, fight us about it. So, 1827, they occupied Sicily, created a port there, and then they went on and basically took the whole of Sicily and what we know of today as Sicily. So, not all, we know this though, before I say that, not all Muslim faith, Islamic people practice Islam the same way. And like I say, we know that based on what we see, which, no shade to the Nation of Islam, none of them, nobody. I fuck with the Nation of Islam, like I say. I learned a lot from some of the brothers back home, man. And they didn't care what you represented, what your religion was. Shit, I'm from Pine Bluff. Hey man, Muhammad was his name. Well, we all know Muhammad, yes, but when I say his name and people from the city know, they don't know who I'm talking about. Yeah, real cool, man. They want to put me on the game about them books, which is that Book of Eli type shit, about how it's thousands of books that's hidden under the ground, in the desert, under the sand. We know this for a fact, because people always digging that shit up and finding it, but only a few of the books is what motherfuckers ruling this bitch out for. Ain't that some cold shit? So we gonna get back into it. So we know that the Muslims ended up gaining power, same as the Christians, and that led to them holy wars. With on each side is gonna be a different name. On one side is gonna be the Crusades and all. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker try to romanticize their drama. You know what I'm saying? Slide on the motherfucker, you give it a nice name. Nah, but it was basically holy wars, man, because it was religion involved and motherfuckers was fighting, killing, murdering, conquest, nigga, conquering type shit. But of course, y'all know about that era because it's all kind of movies and shit on it, documentaries and shit on it, to where they done basically told the story that they want to be told. You'll have to hear it from all the different angles and then put the whole story together, because motherfuckers ain't finna come and give you the whole story if it's not gonna benefit them. If it's not gonna benefit their narrative, they're not gonna give you the whole story. So, due to the conflicts, the Christians ended up reclaiming a lot of the different areas, like Sicily, for example. In 1222, the Muslims was kicked out of Sicily. You know what I'm saying? And they ended up in Lucera. And the Christians ended up destroying it in like the 1300s. You feel me? So that didn't even last. They was pretty much on their ass. And then, of course, Grenada. You know what I'm saying? And it basically didn't, it kind of was, it didn't go downhill because they still a power. They still got power here. So we ain't gonna even play with Facebook whole ass. They still got power here. We're just gonna put it on there and just let it be. So we're gonna finish the lecture. Come check me out to YouTube. Let me drop that real quick. Real quick, y'all. So everybody know, because people coming in and out of the Facebook, but Facebook some hoes, man, they be tripping. They don't fuck with me like that. Every time I go on this bitch and I go live, they get to hating. I'm trying to go live at 2 places at one. But shit, you see, it is what it is with these motherfuckers. So I'm gonna drop it up in here and let everybody know to come in here and check me out. And this is where you can enjoy the full live, everybody. That's why I always encourage y'all to go to my YouTube, because Facebook be hating on me, for real. Oh yeah, and y'all comment, subscribe, share, like, man, ask me questions. That's why I do it live, man. So you catch it when you can catch it, and when you can't, well, if you catch me live, you chop it up with me. If you catch me afterwards, leave me a comment. It's cool either way. But I do this so I get a chance. If you do come in to shit, chop it up with me. You can ask me questions right then and there, because I know a lot of people is like, hey man, I ain't ever heard this side of the shit. And they may be like, nigga, where your proof? Well, then I can get it to you. It might be because I'm smoking this blunt. Facebook hating on me, but it's alright. Yeah, that way I can get to you how you need it. Right then, right there, you can ask me. We can conversate like grown people and shit. If motherfucker want to debate me on this shit, now we can get to it. Yeah, we can get right to it. If you want to debate me, shit, we can put that shit together. We can go in one of these groups and debate. See, I'm doing this on my channel because I'm building up knowledge for the people that's following the path of the dark light. You feel me? So, if you want to debate, we can go in one of these rooms, these crowded rooms, in one of these groups. We can go live, we can go head up if that's what you want to do. But shit, or whatever, you can reply to me with your own videos. So, we're going to get back into it. Alright, so we talked about the Moors in Iberia. The Iberian Peninsula was mentioned. So basically, that's why I was mentioning about in the year 711. The Moors and the Arabs who descend from North Africa. We're gonna get into that too, because a lot of people don't know that the Moors and the Berbers, the Moors and who y'all describe as Arabs, that come from the Berbers, actually come from over here. The story of David and Goliath was done in America, and I'm gonna break that down to you in the future. And there's real documents about that, about him going over there, When he got his ass whooped over here, him going over there, North Africa, making a settlement. It's even stones there with his name and shit. Where Goliath, with his name. Basically him telling his story too. Now he didn't die like what was told in the story. Because then they continued the course. So they crossed the Strait of Gibraltar into the Iberian Peninsula. And they started raiding different Christian provinces, areas. And basically started putting they get down to lay down on motherfuckers. They ended up defeating the Franks. You feel me? And they ended up continuing to gain land and conquer through the year 739, 743. So it wasn't like that they wasn't putting it in. They was putting in work and creating their empire, gaining land, dominating different places, and spreading the faith. So they was end up defeated. We talked about that. By, of course, the European Christians. They like my blood. Get in my jail mode with y'all. We having a conversation right now. It's in lecture form because I'm teaching y'all, but I'm learning too at the same time. And I want to be in a chill mode where we can all chill. So if y'all come in and out and y'all have some questions and shit, I'll be ready and willing to answer them. So basically, that wasn't the end of them. Even though they was conquered, no, they was expelled from certain places. They still retained a lot of their land and a lot of their people. To the point where they say, we talked about the years of the 700s, but by the time we was in the year 1000 or so, 1012, 1011, some researchers and historians say that it was 5 million, man, to 7 million people in that area that was descended and converted to Islam, which show you that ain't what they was. No pussies or no pushovers or none of that. So I'm just mentioning the whole stories, the punches on both sides, basically. You want to leave none of that out. When they threw a punch, when they took a punch. So that's basically what that is. So nobody get offended. If you do, hit me up. Talk, you know what I'm saying? We can talk. So the sub-Saharan Africans too, which we know that. We know that now. Because if you look into the Sahara, the sub-Saharan area, what is you going to see? You're going to see the footprint of Islam. That's what you're going to see. You're going to see where Islam still got a foothold. All up through there. Sudan, Egypt. All up in there. So it's known and it's accepted, and it's people that live in the area that basically still some of war with each other, which we see with the Iran, Iraq, you know what I'm saying, Sunni, Shiite. You see what I'm saying? Like, it get real political. Now, I ain't gonna get into speaking on the politics of it because I'm not no Muslim, man. I just observe the faith and the history. And it's a lot of people who speak on it, but they don't really teach on it. They They just deal with like the myth and the mystery and leading you on some, man, nobody want to be led on no bullshit. Give me the facts, man, so I can look that shit up for myself and I can verify that shit, and then I can know what you saying is the truth, because it ain't even just you saying it. You didn't make that shit up. Now, Grenada was one of the most prominent of the Moorish kingdoms. It lasted for centuries. They ruled over there. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying about through them hundreds of years. Real shit. Like hundreds of years type shit. So we get Ferdinand and Isabella and all them Catholic, you know what I'm saying? Monarchs and shit. And basically, even though the area was mainly Islamic, it was still Jews there. Around a certain time, when the Christians came, the Catholic Christians, it was basically get down and lay down all over again. You know what I'm saying? So it was like either you gonna convert to Catholic Christianity or we're gonna smoke your ass. Type shit. It's around 1460s, 1470s, 1480s, 90s type shit. This is where we start seeing the Spanish Inquisition and all that old extra shit. But we're not going to get into all that shit, because we basically going to stay on task. So we know that the Moors was linked to the Berbers. You know what I'm saying? The Algiers, Moroccan. So we're going to get into... We're going to get into some more knowledge real quick. Let me, I'm going to play something real quick while I roll this blunt. We're going to get right back into it. And, y'all get y'all blunt together. You know what I'm saying? And shit. Whatever, cigarette, whatever you like, you feel me? And do your thing and get on that level with me while we get in there.
Breathe. You feel that? That's your body, baby. Now go! I'm telling you right now, that
it's Friday, y'all. I want to try to chill with me.
It's in the way you breathe. It's the way you push.
We're going to still learn, though.
It's the way you love. It's in your mouth. Listen to your body. Feel your power.
Wherever they're shopping, you're there. Open everywhere with Square.
It's trill. Dog rip. You gotta live it up. Since you alive, you gotta live it up. If you born on this word and you already fucked, and if you black, then your struggle can't be rough or nothing. It ain't no love, they just tell you to toughen up, hustle and get it up. Since you alive, you gotta live it up. If you born on this word and you already fucked, and if you black, then your struggle can't be rough enough. It ain't no love, they just tell you to toughen up, hustle and get it up. Since you alive, you gotta live it up. They say that if you're born in this world covered in melanin, and you were cursed from birth with low intelligence, and you were only meant to slave and work for it. You just another motherfucker in a cotton field, suffering from cognitive dissonance due to politics. Stuck in poverty, never seeing no way out of it. Feeding for progress, hustling to get it in. And all the moves that you making, you still standing still. The media damaging, governors pandering, punting your freedom for dollars and they just cash it in. They roll the dice with your life, they just gambling. National Guard now in charge, yeah, they with FEMA them. Be careful of the food America feeding them. Systematic ignorance to ensure that you never win. But if you born and you die, chosen to live. Yeah, treat your cares like the blunt, let it blow in the wind. If you're born on this world and you already fucked, and if you black, then your struggle can't be rough enough. It ain't no love, they just tell you to toughen up, hustle and get it up. Since you alive, you gotta live it up. If you're born on this world and you already fucked, and if you black, then your struggle can't be rough enough. It ain't no love, they just tell you to toughen up, hustle and get it up. Since you alive, you gotta live it up. They say that if you're born in this world and you got red skin, then you extinct and you can possibly be an Indian, Aboriginal, Native, walking on flat land. Told you that you were African, now you ain't got land. It's for the next generation who don't understand. It's for the ones with the mind that can comprehend. Black lives matter, but will you help your fellow man? Stop fronting on the internet and start collecting bands. Join hands in business, put your money where your mouth is. And for the young ones who already got kids, feed they mind, fuck a fucking Nike outfit. Feed they soul, cause the enemy wanna see them dead. Stop letting all this entertainment go to your head. When you think of losing, think of progress instead. If you were born and you die, inspire change then. Tell a gang, sell a gang, gone, get some yeah. If you were born on this world and you already fucked, and if you black, then your struggle can't be rough enough. It ain't no good, they just tell you to toughen up, hustle and get it up. Since you alive, you gotta live it up. If you born on this world and you already fucked, and if you black, then your struggle can't be rough enough. It ain't no good, they just tell you to toughen up, hustle and get it up. Since you alive, gotta live it on up. Gotta live it on up. Since you alive, don't live it on up. 900, nigga, 900, that's true. Yeah, it's Trill, Chief, Hemp Gods, Big Dog Records. We just getting it how we wanna get it. We speak commerce commercially. We talking big business. We split cigars, got the strings hidden. We just getting it how we live it, we just game spitting. We just game spitting, got the strings hit. We spit game, we mix and breed the strains. Cultivate the game with ways to get the change. Rockin' a Luke Dog chain, we do it to hit the bank. Cash out and checks we make, we buy buzz and shake. My bags is designed with customizable packages and traffic with it, but it ain't the same as trafficking. Different shit in each bag, strains got personality. Break it down, roll it up, activation automatic. You acting like it's a parody, bitch, this live action. Like a movie, nigga, but I do my own casting. Hustle gotta make a map for the weed stashes. Flip stack and exceed tax brackets. I'm just doing the soundtrack to this feature film about legal hustling, peddling bug season trend. Set your goals, aim them high, go achieve them then. Put your whole team on, let your people win. We just getting it how we wanna get it. We speak commerce commercially. We talking big business. We split cigars, got the strings hitting. We just getting it how we live it. We just game spitting. We just game spitting. Got the strings hitting. Chief.
Let me roll the sticky, let me grab my lighter. I need a leash on life, but I keep getting higher. You see, the more I smoke, the more I won't. You see, this is a strange business. Boss player, chief was born in the game. I learned the rules before I learned my name. That boy mix all kind of strains. About to take off like a plane, more than likely to fall off the flame. Plus it come with a strong odor. 2 zips for a 20, you know I'm a stoner. Lightly paranoid, I keep looking over my shoulder. CEO, but I'm a worker, a full grinder. Smoking that propane, let me remind you. The smoke in the dark, look like the blue, stay loaded. Smoking that gelato too.
Yeah. We're still in here, y'all. Gonna get right back on into it. The blank road is lit. It's doing its thing. We finna go and get into it again. Beautiful song, beautiful song. Me and the young chief, man, doing his thing. Alright. So as we get back into it, we're going to get into what I was saying about the Berbers, about Goliath, and how this is all connected. See, a lot of people don't understand what this shit really is. As you hear the stories told by other people, it's gonna be told from their perspective. So when you get the Spanish version of it, you're gonna be like, okay, this is how they seen it. This is what they experienced it from their angle. Then when you get the American version of the same dates and same times, you're gonna see, this was from their angle. So people be like, why ain't the same story? Basically what you're gonna get is the same truths in the story. The things that don't change about none of the stories, yeah, that's the truth of it, no matter how the story is told. So we're gonna get into it. So the term Berber, it's a lot of confusion when it comes to that term. You know what I'm saying? And they may or may not even necessarily, you know what I'm saying? You know how when you black, you didn't call yourself black. You didn't name you black. You didn't name what you represent black. You didn't name that. You didn't come up with that. But you carry it, you wear it. You feel what I'm saying? And a lot of people that may know who they is, they don't really like when you be like, oh yeah, that's black. No, I ain't black. I'm Iroquois. You see what I'm saying? No, I ain't black. I'm from Ghana. You see what I'm saying? So you got to kind of really be careful with that. So none of this is to offend nobody. We just going by the historical documentation. So we're going to get back into it. So the Greek basically gave him that name, and it was basically a play on the word barbarian, or like being barbarous. You feel me? Basically because they were giants, they were strong, they probably was putting hands all on them motherfuckers, hands, toes. They probably was beating the shit out them motherfuckers. They probably hadn't seen nothing like that shit. See, over here in America, we have been dealing with it. It's all kind of stories of all of the native tribes dealing with the ape form men, which we're gonna get into that too. Dealing with giants, a lot of accounts on that. And we gonna get into that too. And I believe the ancient Egyptians also gave them that term too. But seeing that the Egyptians, we don't know exactly what time period, we'll have to look into that and see who was in power, who was ruling in those different places when these negatively, because it's negative, motherfucker, you gonna name me after a barbarian? Why? Because I'm putting big hands on your ass? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm hitting you with all kind of hands and feet and uppercuts and shit. And motherfuckers wasn't going. They wasn't barring none. Now you know how you might whoop a motherfucker ass, and you know what I'm saying, that just might be it. Nah, they whoop your ass till you out this bitch. Then take your land. So getting into the story, basically. So basically, what happened was Goliath is actually from America, and the whole story of David and Goliath was based over here about these different tribes and the giants that they was facing, pretty much. Now, I'm gonna do some stories. I'm gonna do some videos on the different stories that they got, like accounts, like first-hand accounts, stories passed down from in different tribes and shit, on how each one of them in each area, each region, was basically going head up with these motherfucking giants. And they was pretty much having to kill them motherfuckers or be killed by them. We're no in between. And from the description of them, shit, you had to handle business with them. You had to handle business with them. Motherfuckers with 2 rows of teeth. You feel me? Double, triple the brain size. 4, 5 times the height. You see what I'm saying? Now, from what they say, people was taller then. People had more girth as far as body then. So they probably was a whole lot more formidable than what you would imagine today. Basically seeing the average person 7 feet. This shit was a short motherfucker to them. I'm talking about the average, what you would attribute as, oh, that motherfucker tight, you know what I'm saying, tall or whatever. You would see him as tall, that motherfucker 7 feet right now. And shit, he probably can't come in through most doors. He had to bend down and shit. But to them in those days, a short motherfucker was like 10 feet tall type shit. But yet and still, of course, they found a way. You know what I'm saying? Which people always do. Whenever people is faced with the challenges that they face with, if they really wanna achieve, overcome, they're gonna find a way to do it. And that's each and every motherfucking time. So in that case, they did the same thing. They found a way to defeat the giants that they was facing. Now, do we necessarily have to say that when Goliath got there, they immediately went into some conquest mode type shit? Nah, that wasn't the case. Basically, what it was is shit. They got over there. They wrote the story of how they was conquered, of how they had basically got their ass whooped. Let me go and keep it real. How they ended up over in what we would describe as the Middle East, in them same areas, the Iberian Peninsula, in them same areas, Morocco. That's why actually if you investigate it, that's what people know Goliath as. People know Goliath as a Moroccan, as a Berber. They never really did describe the tribe. Of course, they say he was a Philistine. He was a Philistine. So, do they really like give you the exact tribe? Do they really give you like the exact area? What if that's basically where they met him at when they encountered him, the Europeans? What if basically that's what they assume? Imagine if I go somewhere in the world and you meet me for the first time. Shit, if I didn't tell you, you would assume this is why. You know what I'm saying? You would assume wherever you met me is where the fuck I'm from. Especially if I don't just go out my way and tell you. So we gotta look into that too. I'm gonna further investigate that. They attribute him to being a Philistine in the Bible. But when you investigate who Goliath was, you basically gonna see that the world, which goes back to why I say everybody gonna see it in their own way. The world don't know him as that. The world know him as a Moroccan, a Spaniard, a Berber. They still know him as the same giant. But they basically know him as what you would describe as a Moor. You see why I'm bringing it all the way around? So they basically would describe him as a Moor. Now, you're going to have the same thing where everybody, I got a nickname. Some people know me by my nickname. Some people know me by my given name. But peep this out. Both them people know me. You feel what I'm saying? They still don't take away the fact that both the people know me. So then we gotta understand that he could be known as the person from there, from the Middle East. He could be known as a person from North Africa and a person from East Africa. Where you say how could he be known as that? Easy. People moved around way more freely back then. Now you got a lot more control on travel. You got a lot. You motherfuckers, you can't even just get on a boat and just take your boat just any fucking where. You gotta have all kind of paperwork and all kind of shit. Because if they catch your ass out there in that water, or say a fucking pirate or somebody catch your ass out there in that water, what then? You can't even just get you a whip and just drive all around the fucking country. You all in the fucking way, Motorola services. Fuck all that right now. You can't even do that. Matter of fact, you got a passport? Because you gonna need something like that. They was a whole lot freer back then. They can go where they want it, when they want it, how they want it. If you had the means to do the shit, you can do it. So, of course you might see me in different places. Especially if I'm a fucking chief, a leader of a tribe, got thousands or hundreds and thousands of people. The fuck you mean? So we touch on that, how that Berbers, even Goliath, is linked to the Moors. Well, we know now that in the world he known as Goliath from Morocco. So that would give him that title of a Moor, right? So we link the Berbers with the Moors, breaking it down further, but still not getting away from the fact that the Moors were converted to Islam. They spreaded Islam, and it's developed to what we know it is today, and we're gonna get in there too once we get further back into the history. So we know the Moors, the stories of the Moors going to Europe, colonizing, teaching stuff, bringing people out of dark ages, giving knowledge and intelligence, all while blending with the people, having sex, breeding basically, creating a whole different type of person. But nobody ever talk about the Grimaldi man. The Grimaldi man, who was the first African that went to Europe and colonized. So not all early humanoids were apes, man. Not all early humanoids was hunched over, but we know this for a fact. And how do we know that? Because when you look at what I'm gonna crush this shit too. This so-called theory of evolution, which is really what I would describe as a chart of DNA experiments. And once you break down the chart, you'll see each one of them supposed phases of evolution in man was actual species that was sometimes living together. So how the fuck I evolve into you, motherfucker? We ain't all evolved into you yet. So it's still some of me. What, we ain't ready to evolve yet. We ain't got the code. We need a secret code or some shit. We need the Mortal Kombat fatality code, left, right, back, square and shit. Or we can't evolve like y'all. We gonna be stuck. Man, shut the fuck up. So we disproving all that shit too. This whole Darwin theory of evolution, I'm gonna bust that shit wide open in a minute too. Just give me a minute. So the Grimaldi man, actually the first to colonize Europe. Now, the whole out of Africa theory, I don't believe in that shit. I don't believe in it. And you can get mad. You can do whatever you want to do. You can come on this motherfucker and talk all kind of shit. It'd be best if you come chop it up with me and we can get to the bottom of it together. Now, if we got the holler and scream, I ain't finna do that shit with your monkey ass. But we can conversate. And you can give your argument and I give mine. See, because your disagreement and my disagreement don't mean that shit. We can't come to some type of common goddamn ground at the end of it. So basically, the Grimaldi man, they say, was around maybe 3 million years ago that this happened, where they basically went over into Europe and basically help curve a kind of genetic human, like curve the path. They put that, what is it, whenever it is, motherfucker, that fork in the road for them, where we going, left or right, creating further a different type of humanoid by blending with the Neanderthal that was there in the caves. So Robert Leakey was supposedly the person who did the research. You can Google him, you can look him up. The Grimaldi man, Robert Leakey, Mary Leakey. and you can see for yourself. Don't just take my word. They basically feel like most people was known in that time period, 3 million, a million years ago, 2 million, as the Australopithecus, which was more closely related to what we know of as the ape man, the Neanderthal, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, all that. I know it sound weird, I know it sound crazy, but we're gonna get into that shit too. None of this shit is fake. None of this shit that you hear about is fake. You just gotta see the documentation on it. Which by now, if you ain't already seen it, if you ain't already peeped that motherfucking shit, I don't know what to tell you. By now, if you ain't already peeped that all this shit you can think of got a real basis to it, I don't even know what to tell you. So the Grimaldi man, basically, they saying that they got DNA evidence that says that all Europeans, all the modern Europeans, that's why I say they curved that whole genetic pool. They say that they got evidence. These people is from Oxford College. These supposed to be scholars and acclaimed scientists and shit like that. See, I'm just a regular motherfucker, just bringing it to you. These the motherfucker with all the high tech, high power shit, the big budgets. So this is their word, not mine. They saying that they got DNA evidence, which is what y'all base the whole out of Africa theory off of, but it ain't no out of Africa theory, man. We gonna get to that shit too. Even though it is an out of Africa theory, it ain't out of Africa theory, because I'm gonna break that motherfucker in half too. They saying that the Grimaldi man, the Grimaldi species, not just man, were the ones who originated all modern Europeans. They say they got evidence of it. They say they got archaeological evidence, they got bone fragments, they got motherfucking stone tools, and of course, what I love the most, rock art, wall art, all that shit. They show you how they was, what they was on at the time. What they put in them caves, what they wrote that shit with whatever they can find. Sometimes they own blood for us to understand. Man, what do you mean? This is the real history right here. They saying that they found it. They saying they found the DNA evidence. They found multiple different types of evidence to prove the shit. They even knew. They saying they knew, because you ain't no way to definitely know unless you was there. But they saying that they knew that the Grimaldi man was a hunter-gatherer. They say that about everybody though. They a hunter-gatherer. You don't know if them motherfuckers was developers. They was hunter-gatherers. This is what they say though. But they say that they was artistic. We're going to get into some of the pictures. I'm going to share them. They say that they basically left their history in rock paintings, which we know that the large majority of ancestors, they going to write on something that's going to last, man. We write on paper and shit. They was writing in stones, inside cave walls. Some shit that ain't just going nowhere. Now, if you want to get into the Grimaldi further, how they deal with the Neanderthal, and basically how they adapted to being a certain way by crossbreeding, which is what I mentioned, we can definitely get into that further. Just hit me up, let me know if you want to get further into it. We can definitely get into that and go deeper into the whole Grimaldi. But this lecture is about the Moorish. The Moorish people, their history, their relationship with Islam. So let's get into our time period. And we're going to investigate, look into, touch on, and speak on This whole thing we dealing with over here. Of course, we know about the Nation of Islam. Everybody know about Malcolm. By any means. That well-known picture with him standing by the window with that thing. You know what I'm saying? All that good shit. But it's a lot. It's a whole lot. I ain't gonna just say a lot. It's a lot of mystery with the people. They ain't ever making no mystery. They always put it all out there for y'all. Nation of Islam, you can go up there and talk to any of them at any time, and they gonna tell you, you know what I'm saying, what they understanding of about the world, life, politics, all that shit is history. They don't hide it. And if you want to know that real, to be real, peep some of Farrakhan's lectures and some of his radio shows. Man, Farrakhan, I ain't gonna go too much into it, but do that. And of course, I'm sure it's other black armies, but man, look, the Nation of Islam, they did that. They got their own army. You feel what I'm saying? Well, most people, they look down on that kind of shit. Yeah, they look down on that. Okay, so let me give you an example. You got the hood. Who the soldiers in the hood? The thugs, the gangsters, the street niggas, the hustlers. How do people see them? They won't get their own police force. They won't police their own neighborhoods, neighborhood watch, all that shit. The closest thing that people had that they loved that was represented in that way, which it's a new thing that's out now, but I'm going to mention who I was going to mention. And that's the Black Panther Party, but it's a new thing that's out now. And that's the not fucking around crew, not fucking around click some shit. These motherfuckers right here, I don't even know about them yet. Oh yeah, Grandmaster, damn, what's that nigga name? Man? That nigga name Grandmaster J, Jam Master. That nigga, he a fake. I ain't gonna do him like that. Yeah, he ain't the real Jam Master J. That motherfucker, Grandmaster J. But yeah, I think people fuck with them too a little bit. But yeah, that was the last group people really fucked with that was militant like that. That was the Black Panther Party. So I can see how whenever the Nation of Islam, the fruit of Islam is what they call. There you go. Came to me. Yeah, I can see why people look at it and they kind of maybe intimidated, maybe kind of lack the understanding that they need. And basically, shit, you know what they say about that, not having the knowledge, having that ignorance. They ain't gonna do you shit. They ain't gonna help you at all. So we're gonna get into the Nation of Islam. We're gonna get into the Moorish Science Temple of America. And then we're gonna conclude. So basically, when it was founded, which a lot of people don't know, it was basically founded in 1930 in when it was founded, it was a religious and it was a political party, basic group. But seeing they got a military arm now, shit, they're a whole real nation. You see what I'm saying? And it was of course founded by Fard Muhammad. Now, I'm more of a libertarian, but I really don't subscribe. I really don't fuck with the whole any kind of party type thing. Cause anytime you fuck with these parties and shit, these motherfuckers want to put you in that group you know that era-ism, them ism-ists, and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? They start putting them titles on your ass, which ain't good for nobody, especially not no black person. You already got enough of them. It was supposed to be black. It was supposed to be for black nationalists. I'm sure it was for any black person, though. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to. They especially with practicing Islam. Excuse me, y'all. Been up all day. They basically practicing Islam or interested in getting involved in Islam. Or shit really was just interested in the knowledge, man. Because like I say, some of the most of the people I met that was in Islam, man, that was Muslims, man, they ain't shy with the knowledge, man. They gonna give it out. They gonna encourage you to spread knowledge too, and to help, and not just help, just talking on the fucking internet or some shit, but like really get out here, putting the feet in the street, stumping, getting it done, putting your real money in, all that kind of shit. Not your fake money, not the money you post on Instagram, but your real money that you have to spend when you get off the internet. Shit, not to shame nobody, you know. Basically, we know that they ended up, because of their strong stance on a lot of things, they ended up being classified as a hate group. And basically been put the scene as error-ists and all that monkey ass shit. Which, hey man, I'm not the one to speak on who is this or is that. Like I say, this for educational purposes, and I ain't here to judge nobody's group or none of that shit. We all know about Louis Farrakhan and Elijah Muhammad, and we know about Malcolm X, but there's other people. You know what I'm saying? And also, I'm gonna mention this, and then we're gonna go into the Moorish Science Temple and Drew Ali. I'm gonna mention this first though. That whole theory about the ape man being, now it's crazy because when you listen to it, you're gonna see it in different ways. Because in the Emerald Tablets, when Thoth ended up coming to Africa, he said that he met up with the hairy barbarians. Then we see that the Greeks called the Berbers the barbarians, the barbarous ones. And then we go to the Grimaldi man, and we see that the ancient supposed African man went to Europe and crossbred. You see how all this shit linking up? Now it go back to these people too, with the Nation of Islam and with Yaqub. But you can investigate that yourself further, and you can see for yourself what you believe about that. We know how it went with Malcolm and that whole story. You can go check the movies out. So ain't no need to go deep into that. Now we're going to get into the Moorish Science Temple of America. Drew Ali. I know some Moors, man. I know some Moors. You know? Real good people, man. Real good people. Knowledgeable. Always knowledgeable when you come in contact with them, man. And I ain't talking about just that shit that y'all be talking about, how they be stumping down through this bitch and holding control of certain things, but just knowledge of all kinds of things. Now we know that the Moorish Science Temple of America is similar to the Nation of Islam, being that it's a religious organization and it's more of a political party, political movement formation type thing. And basically it's a vehicle to get the black people from how they seen it to a better place, to be honest, man. Now Drew Ali He had the belief that Africans in America were descendants of the Moabites. And by being descendants of the Moabites, that you were basically Islamic by faith through birthright. Now, it's a lot of shit behind the whole thing. It's a lot of shit behind it. We're not gonna get into the whole, what would you say, controversy of the shit. We basically want to just touch on the knowledge, the information. You can always Google these names and you can get the shits about them. You know, there's shits that y'all like, you know. What that motherfucker do? Why that motherfucker fucked up? You know what I'm saying? Y'all like that kind of shit. But I ain't finna bring y'all that bullshit right now. May be unknown to most people, but I know not to some, is that Far Muhammad Drew Ali, Elijah Muhammad, shit, they was all linked up. You know what I'm saying? Of course you would think that for sure. You would assume that. Especially being that, like I say, when you meet people of the Islamic faith, when you meet Muslims, man, they cordial, man. The Moors, they always spend game, man. You got something cracking, you trying to get something built, they gonna hey brother, do this, do that. Yeah, a lot of people look at them and probably look at it like it's a car. They ain't no cartoon characters. That's them, man. That's really them. You just gotta let people be they self. Niggas be out there fly with their suits on and shit like that, man. Standing on them corners, you know, getting it in with them papers, man. Trying to bring that knowledge to you. And if you take out the time and peep the game, you're gonna learn some shit, no matter what religion you got going on. So basically, Elijah Muhammad, Drew Ali, they all had the same idea in mind. You know what I'm saying? They all pretty much had similar outlooks as far as Europeans. Like, we gotta go and be honest. You know that whole white devil thing. You know what I'm saying? We already know about that. I wouldn't say that it was a fall of the Moorish Science Temple. You see what I'm saying? We know that eventually, you know what I'm saying, that the FBI ended up getting involved, but you know they always gonna get involved some way, form, or another. Real shit. They're gonna always get involved. And it don't matter if you're doing some peaceful shit. It don't matter if you're trying to fuck up some shit. If you're black, they on your ass. And if you're white or any other color, to be real with your ass. You come with some knowledge, they on your ass. And that's just how this gonna go. Like I say, I don't want to get into the drama about it. I just want to let you know the history. The Circle 7. If you ever checked it out, check it out. You know what I'm saying? Peep it out. So you can get an idea of Brother Ali's mind for yourself. I don't want you to take my idea of him. See what I'm saying? Make your own. I present you with the knowledge. You can go dig. I give you the shovel. I dig with you too. But we're gonna conclude So the conclusion is the word Moor is associated and in ways is synonymous with the religion called Islam, with the Muslim faith. That's why whenever we say Moor, y'all automatically get that in your head. You get that image, you get that thought in your head that, okay, yeah, they're Islamic, but you gotta remember the Moors actually were Berbers first, and they was converted to Islam. We learned about the Grimaldi man, about the curve that created the modern, what we know of nowadays as the European. We got a deeper respect, a deeper understanding of the Moor and here in America. Deeper understanding of the Muslim here in America. By me bringing you the knowledge. Brother Drew. Like I say, I ain't finna bring you the bullshit. You can always go look up the bullshit. I'm trying to be diplomatic. Farad. Brother Elijah. Malcolm. Any of these brothers, you can look them up. It wasn't just them. Khalid Muhammad. That nigga was the nigga too. So, yeah, you can investigate further for yourself. That's our conclusion, though. And I hope y'all learned some shit, man. I hope y'all learned some shit y'all didn't know. And if this shit sparks something in your head, hit me up. We're going to continuously be going in, figuring these things out. But we want to get the whole picture. Next, we're going to get into the Jewish faith, but it'll probably be in future times because we got a couple other things I'm finna bring to y'all. And shit, man, it was cool chilling with y'all, smoking, chopping it up with y'all. You can always go back, watch this bitch again. If it was something that, you know what I'm saying, you missed, go back. And hit me up, fuck with me, y'all. I'm gonna go end the live. Been on this thing for a cooler minute, but we got it done. Peace.